The latest San Diegans to get the coronavirus vaccine, and later how distribution will work at senior care facilities. After a lot of back and forth, new life for a pandemic relief package in Congress, one that lawmakers say could include another round of checks for Americans. And restaurants in North Park facing the possibility of having to take down their outdoor dining setups to make way for a polarizing project. ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
More healthcare workers in San Diego are getting the COVID vaccine today. Welcome, I'm Virginia Cha. ABC 10 News reporter Leah Pizzetti is at UC San Diego in Hillcrest, where they just started giving out their doses today.
We saw this excitement begin Tuesday, and now UC San Diego frontline healthcare workers are next in line to get this COVID-19 vaccine.
I wish you could see me smiling underneath my mask.
Healthcare workers at Rady Children's Hospital excited to be some of the first.
We've been waiting so long for the vaccine, and I have to pinch myself that it's actually here now.
Rady, along with Naval Medical Center San Diego, started giving out the vaccines Tuesday, and Wednesday UCSD has joined them.
There's a clear ripple of energy that we've been waiting for the vaccines, as has everybody. We're not alone. Other health systems and the general public has been waiting for these vaccines.
Chief Pharmacy Officer Charles Daniels says they have about 3,000 doses of the Pfizer vaccine now. They're giving out about 100 to start Wednesday, with hopes to get another 5,000 Moderna vaccines by next week if it gets approved.
The expectation is that within the next several weeks that we would have enough to get to all of the healthcare workers that are in line for the vaccine.
The focus to start is on healthcare workers directly helping COVID-19 patients, then expand to all hospital staff, including food service workers and janitors. Next, essential workers, but that's likely going to spark a discussion on who is the most essential.
We want to stick really to who has the highest risk of catching the disease because of the constant exposure that they have, and then who has the highest risk of dying of the disease.
The group figuring out the timeline for the county says they'll follow state recommendations, but there will likely be discussion on who is at a highest risk, with a conversation about groups like the Latinx community who have been hit the hardest. Those conversations have not started yet. Right now, the focus is getting these frontline healthcare workers vaccinated first. Also keep in mind that these are the first doses going out right now, but everyone is going to need a second dose either 21 or 28 days later. Leah Pizzetti, ABC 10 News.
And another hospital starting to distribute doses to their employees today is Palomar Health. They are giving those vaccinations right now. Well, as the Pfizer vaccine rollout continues this week, Moderna's COVID vaccine appears to be on the verge of getting the green light. So how do these two vaccines compare? We've got a quick breakdown for you. Both vaccines require 2 doses. Data shows Moderna's vaccine is 94.5% effective among people who got both doses. Pfizer's 95% effective. One big difference playing out right now, Pfizer's vaccine needs to be stored at 94 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. Moderna's can be stored at about 4 degrees below 0. We will see how that impacts the speed of Moderna's eventual rollout. Now, you can find more information about these vaccines and all kinds of other in-depth articles related to the coronavirus on 10news.com. After weeks of stop-and-go negotiations, it looks like Congress is close to striking a deal on a relief package that would put money directly into people's pockets. Lawmakers say they are reaching agreements on a number of issues, including, among other things, sending checks to Americans and adding a federal boost to unemployment. ABC's Faith Abube has the details.
Signs of some progress on Capitol Hill on a much-needed COVID-19 relief package. House and Senate leaders on both sides of the political aisle meeting late into the night, hammering out details of a possible deal. After spending hours in closed-door meetings Tuesday, one apparent breakthrough is an agreement to provide new stimulus checks to low-income Americans.
We committed to continuing these urgent discussions until we have an agreement. And we agreed we will not leave town until we've made law.
McConnell, who has been largely absent from the negotiations, now suggesting he's willing to temporarily drop his demands for liability protections for businesses against COVID-19 related lawsuits. And Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Democrats are apparently prepared to drop their push for $160 billion in aid for states and local governments. the two major sticking points that have long delayed a compromise.
We Democrats would have liked to go considerably further, but this won't be the last time Congress speaks on COVID relief.
Pressure now mounting as discussions continue on the nearly $900 billion bipartisan COVID relief package.
We don't want this to be political at this point. We just need relief.
More than 10 million Americans were set to lose their unemployment benefits the day after Christmas, and protections from evictions expire in January. Businesses hit hard by the pandemic, also hoping for relief to stay afloat.
The United States Senate should have passed the coronavirus and economic relief package months ago.
Vice President-elect Kamala Harris also weighing in on the relief talks during an exclusive interview on GMA with Robin Roberts.
The people here in Washington, D.C. have got to stop living in a bubble. The people have a right to expect that their leaders in Congress see them and act in their best interest.
And next steps in the discussions are unclear at this point. However, the negotiations need to conclude soon before critical COVID aid expires next week. Faith Abube, ABC News, Washington.
As many businesses struggle to stay open while operating under COVID-19 restrictions, some in North Park will face even more challenges as work begins on the 30th Street bike lane expansion. ABC 10 News reporter Marie Cornell shows us the obstacles they will have to deal with.
Even though outdoor dining has been put on pause in San Diego County because of COVID-19 restrictions, some business owners are hoping to resume operations in their parklets once they're given the okay to do so. But for a few places in North Park, that may no longer be an option. Right now, this is what it looks like on 30th Street, where some businesses have left their outdoor dining structures just as they were before the latest shutdown. But as the 30th Street pipeline replacement project moves into the final stages, which includes a bike lane expansion, it raises concerns from business owners who fear they will lose their parklets and outdoor dining option. In a virtual meeting, the city presented its plan to the North Park Main Street Business Board of Directors meeting, informing business owners of what will be required of them as part of this construction.
There will be flexible barriers or posts that need to be installed by the business owner to push those bicycles into the traveled way.
Something business owners were not happy to hear.
And not only are our businesses scratching for every penny that they can right now, now we're going to ask them to take their staff time, take whatever little money they have, and go out and stripe the street themselves. It just seems it seems crazy to me. It's a big ask.
And now they're asking the city to delay the striping of the bike lanes until businesses can fully reopen. Marie Cornell, ABC 10 News.
Well, teachers, school leaders, and parents continue to debate when it will be safe to return to in-person learning. The San Diego Union High School District, for example, consulted with 4 doctors regarding their reopening plan, which was scheduled to start the week of January 4th. They say the doctors all said they felt the plan was safe. Some students and teachers, though, have asked the district to stay virtual until the COVID-19 case numbers improve. But some parents tell ABC 10 News they believe keeping their children at home is doing more harm than good.
I think that you're just unable to really have the best frame of mind when you are at home for hours on end and you are essentially isolated.
The California Teachers Association has sent the district a cease and desist letter saying the plan doesn't protect teachers. Now to the North County, where the Poway Unified School District is recommending the first 2 weeks after winter break be online. They say they're experiencing severe staffing shortages at many of their school sites after Thanksgiving break due to more staff having to quarantine after positive test results or close contact with someone who's positive. They add that there is no evidence of any outbreaks on school campuses. The Poway School Board expected to vote on the recommendation during a meeting tomorrow. Optimism about the coronavirus vaccine is being tempered somewhat by the number of COVID-19 hospitalizations now hitting record levels. And experts say the numbers will likely go higher in the coming months. The death toll in the U.S. topping 300,000 just as the vaccine was being distributed. The COVID Tracking Project says in just the last 24 hours, about 2,900 more Americans died from the virus. Here in California, Governor Newsom says the number of deaths has spiked so much, the state has had to order dozens of giant refrigerators and 5,000 more body bags. Some are being sent to San Diego.
That should be sobering. I don't say that, I don't want people to run with that. I don't want people to scare folks. But this is a deadly disease. And we need to be mindful of where we are in this current journey together to the vaccine. We are not at the finish line yet.
Since the start of the pandemic, San Diego has reported nearly 1,200 coronavirus-related deaths.